Okay, question number 19. This one is going to ask us, again, coming to the end, it wants us to find the standard deviation of the sample distance and round our answer to 2 decimal places. If you've got the TI calculator, TI 8384, it'll do this for you. And some of you I've shown you have, so as we've worked through this in class, that's one of the benefits coming to class. What I'm going to show you here is how to do it by hand, because some of you, if you're going to use the calculator provided by Alex, you'll notice there is no standard deviation calculation here. Okay. So what we're going to do is what we have to first do. There's 5 employees. We're going to find the mean. Second step, take the data, each of the data values, subtract the mean, and we're going to take that result and square it. Then we're going to sum it. We're going to add them all together. So we take a sum. Then we divide by 1 less than what we have. So we've got 5 employees. We're going to divide by 5 minus 1. And the last thing we do is we're going to take the square root of the whole thing. Now we can, if you want, we can do this all together. I'll try it with the calculator, or you could do it step by step. But the first step we really have to do is find the mean, because we only want to have to enter that calculation once. So let's do that. Pull up the calculator. I'm going to just erase this because there we go. So that's pretty much there. So we're going to add each of these together. 18 plus 16 plus 29 plus 31 plus 6. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 of them. Oh, nice. Divided by 5, I think it's going to be about 20, right? Let's just check it. It's 20. So 20 is our average. So the next thing we're going to need to do is, for this calculation, we're going to take 18 minus 5, square it, plus 16 minus 5, square it, plus 29. Now you could do the subtraction in your head. You could even square it in your head, but I'll go ahead and show you how you do the whole thing right on here. So let's clear this. Let's see, let's use parentheses. So I want to take 18 minus 5, close the parentheses, and then we're going to square it. Let's see, there's a square button. There's square right there. And then we're going to add 16 minus 5, always subtracting the mean. That's 5 numbers. Careful. The mean was 20, wasn't it? Yes, I can tell that right there. So you see kind of my dyslexia. Sometimes I pick out the wrong number. So I could start over, but I'd like you to see that I make mistakes and how I recover from mistakes. That's what helped me. I had a teacher who did that. He showed me how he recovered from mistakes, and that's kind of how I understood math better. And I'm doing the same sort of thing here, as I'm working these without thinking, without prior working them, so that you can see possibly mistakes that I make. So let's clear this out. Let's start over. 18 minus 20, that's the mean. We're going to square that, and we're going to add to that 16 minus 20, square that. we keep going. The next number is 29. Oops, forgot my parentheses. Undo. Parentheses. 29 minus 20. And yes, you could just put 9 squared in there if you wanted to, but I want you to see all the calculations that we have to go through. Plus, we're on 31 minus 20. So these are the deviations. So, getting ahead of myself. We need a parentheses around this to get the proper order of operations. It's a little tedious, but we can do it. Plus parentheses 31 minus 20. And then we're going to square that. And then we're going to add one more, which is 6. Subtract 20. And we're going to hit equals. So that's the number we get after taking the sum. So we've squared them all, added them all together. I'm going to write that down, 419. The next thing we do with that number is we're going to divide it by 5 minus 1. So we're going to, that we could do in our head. I think it's better, so we're going to divide by 4. So let's take 400, how did I do that? 418. It's so easy to put the wrong numbers down, but when you double check, you get them, and you catch it. Divided by 4. So that gives us 104.5. Now, be careful, some people might want to put that in as their answer, but what we need to do with this 104.5 is our last step. We need to take the square root of that. Just once. I've seen some of you when you were working this, you kind of took the square root twice, but just once. Let's see if this works. I think I can just take the square root and it'll give me it. It should be a little bit bigger than 10 because 100, square root of 100 is 10, right? So let's see if this works. Will it let me do that? It doesn't. So I'm going to clear that. I've got it written down. I need to put the square root first and then 104.5. And then that's going to be my standard deviation, 10.22. And notice the second 2, I rounded, I look, there's a 2, so it rounds down to 10.22. So now that I've got this here, I just enter my 10.22. And that's how we find the standard deviation. Be prepared to do it. It's messy, it's tedious, but just remember sort of the steps. Find the mean, subtract the mean from each of the data, square it. Add all that together, divide by 1 less than the number that you have, and then take the square root.